Hey, hello everyone. It's time to kick off my Cruel Jewel 100 training block. So today is March 1st. Just finished the Love It 100. And if you see my previous videos, you know I did Bandera 100K in January. And then in February, I did Rocky Raccoon 100 miler. And then I did Love It 100 miler. I finished 100K. Now it's time to kick off my biggest race of this year, which is the Cruel Jewel 100. So that race takes place on May 19th. So I've got a few months. So today's March 1st. So what's my plan? This race is one of the toughest races in the southern USA. It's 34,000 feet of climbing and descent and over 106 miles. So it's actually 106 miles. It takes place in northern Georgia, Chattanooga National Forest. So it's a few hours north of Atlanta. Not sure if I'm going to drive out there from Texas or fly. Probably going to fly. But trying to get my plans in place now. So what am I going to do for training? So this is the elevation in this race is very extreme. You're basically always climbing. I think the average grade of the trails that you're on is 10%, 8 to 10% the whole race. That's why there's over 30,000 feet of climbing and descent. Let me show you the map. Part of my map was cut off a little bit, but it gives you the idea. So you can see down here the elevation profile. You're basically climbing, descent throughout 106 miles. Up here shows you a little bit about the area. It's northern Georgia. I just wanted to show you the elevation profile. There is no flat parts of this course. It's all climbing and descent. Some people say it's mostly a hiking race with a little bit of running. The cutoffs are there's a lot of cutoff times in it, but they do give you, I think, up to 48 hours to finish the race if you can make the different cutoffs. I'm very confident. I know this is going to be the toughest race I've ever done, but I think I can do it. And I know what kind of training I need to put in place. Map there for a second. So what am I going to do? Typically, I hike 8 to 10,000 feet a week. I plan to make that more difficult, and I'll show you how. I've only been doing that a few months, and I've seen a lot of progress in my ultras by doing that. Mostly it's done on my treadmill. My treadmill goes down as a descent setting up to 3%, and I can climbing, I can go up to 12%. So what am I going to do? So my first plan is, let's talk about my vert, my climbing. How am I going to train for that? I'll show you. So we're in March. I've got these banners here. I'm going to show you what my plan is. So I've got some key goals over the next 2 months. So during March, I plan to climb 10 to 12,000 feet vertical climbing on my treadmill, mainly my treadmill, with my 20-pound ruck per week. So what I did before was without the ruck. Those of you which have followed me for a while know that I'm involved in ruck racing and ruck training. Ruck means rucksack, just like in the military. I have a special rucksack, which I'll show you. Special racing rucksack that's made by GoRuck. And inside here, you can put different plates, which fit real snugly. It's designed for training. I've got these plates. You can see here, 20-pound plate, the steel plate. I have a 20 and a 30-pound plate. So I'll put this 20-pound plate in my ruck, and I'll strap it to my back, basically. And my plan is to do most of my climbing on my treadmill with my rucksack. Now, during March, I may ease into that. I don't want to injure myself because I haven't been using the ruck on my during my climb training. So I'll ease into that probably will start this weekend. And I'll be doing some climbing with it, some without it. But by middle of March, I hope to be doing all of my vertical climbing on my treadmill with my ruck, 20-pound ruck. So that's my plan for March, vertical climbing. we get into April, show you. April, same amount. I plan to do 10 to 12,000 feet vertical climbing. It's hard to do much more than that because that's about 2,000 a day. On the weekend, I can make up for some. I may have some weeks where I can get up to 15,000 feet, but going beyond that, it really takes up too much time, and I have to work and stuff. I'm not a professional athlete. But my tentative goal is by April to jump up to my 30-pound ruck, basically my 30-pound plate. I'll have to reevaluate that towards the end of March, whether or not I can start at the beginning of April or middle of April. But I definitely want to do a few weeks in April, or preferably the whole month, using the 30-pound plate. And then once I get into the beginning of May, the race is May 19th, I'll probably ease out of using the ruck, and I'll still be doing my vert every week, but maybe without the weight or just with my 20-pound plate. I'll just have to play it by ear, see how it goes. But that's my plan on how to kick up my training. So I'm not really going to go more than 10 to 12,000 feet a week, which is actually a lot. It's great that I can do that on my treadmill because I live in Texas where it's flat. But how I'm going to kick it up a lot of notches is by using my weighted ruck on top of that. And, adding 20, 30 pounds in a ruck, it's not like adding 20, 30 pounds of body weight. It's a little bit different because it changes your gait. It always putting pressure on the ground. That's why ruck racing is a little bit different. But it is a very challenging workout to be doing a ruck race, any kind of race with a ruck, and I know it's going to be a big impact on my training by doing this on my weekly vert. So may update that a little bit as we go, but that's my tentative plan. I think it's a doable plan. So 20-pound plate in March and 30-pound plate in April, 10 to 12,000 feet a week. Then my second goal is to continue my skiing. I will show you it. So I have a ski RG machine. It's a workout machine that I use all the time, and it's been very successful in helping me get stronger with hiking poles because it really works your back and lower. And it's a total body workout, especially your core. It's basically the same movement as Nordic skiing, but really it's the same movement as using hiking poles. In this race, I'm using my hiking poles the whole race, so I'm really going to kick up my ski training even more. My plan is usually I do about 2,000 to 3,000 meters, or 3 kilometers per day. Recently, I did a ski marathon, so I know I can push it pretty hard. It's just as time consuming. I can only do so much in a day. I'm thinking I'm going to stay around the 2,000 to 3,000 meters per day, and I'm going to do more on the weekend. So I'm going to target 15 to 20 kilometers per week on my ski machine. And I'll keep that the same in April. I don't think I need to go up any on that. The next goal I have, so that's a ski. So we talked about my vertical climbing and my skiing. You're probably saying, well, how much are you going to run? Isn't this a running event? Well, I don't need to run very much because I've been running for 30 years, and the runnable sections I definitely will run in Cruel Jewel, but most of it's very steep hiking or kind of what we call basically a fast hike. And so hiking on my treadmill, hiking and doing I will do some runs, outside because the weather's getting good. I might do, some 5-10K runs here and there per week, but mostly I'm going to be doing hiking, trying to get in my vert. Talked about ski. The next big goal for me is lose 15 pounds by May 10th. I have lost some weight, but my weight is probably 10 or 15 pounds too much, for being a runner and doing the kind of things I'm doing. I've been putting on muscle, but with all my weight training, but I know I need to lose 10 to 15 pounds. I should have done this before my races in February. It's just a real challenge for me. I think the nutrition and weight management is harder than the running and everything else. I think the eating right and weight management is the hardest part. I really think so. When you're doing ultras, weight really does make a difference. I know some people get sensitive about that, but I'm talking about myself, not other people. I know I need to lose 10 10, preferably 15 pounds in the next 2 months. I have to do it, or this race is going to be very difficult for me. It made my February races more challenging, and I need to stop putting it off and really just buckle down and do it. So that's my another big goal, lose 15 pounds by May 10th. Then my last goal is to continue my full body weight training. It's bench press, curls, biceps, triceps, my full body workouts in my gym. I live stream a lot of those, but I do plan to do those at least 3 times per week. Some of them will be combined with my ski exercise. Stay tuned. A lot of those will be live streamed. So those are my main targets for my training block. Recap them again. 10 to 12,000 feet of vertical climbing per week. But I'm adding my ruck, 20-pound ruck. Then in April, I'm jumping to 30-pound ruck with my climbing. 15 to 20K kilometers of skiing per week. Lose 15 pounds. Continue full body weight training at least 3 times per week. My full body weight training, it's like 2 hours. I really go through everything just like a bodybuilder would do. I really enjoy that. So actually, I think I like the weight training more than the running sometimes. Anyways, it helps me a lot build up strength. But that's it. I'm excited to kick off this training block for Cruel Jewel 100. It's actually 106 miles, like I said. It's kind of funny. They got a sign in the race that says, you've reached the 100-mile mark. In most races, you'd be finished, but not here. You have 6 more miles. And they have one section of 6 miles that's just horrendous, very difficult. People say, well, why did you add that in there? It's a 100-mile race. But I guess that's why it's called Cruel Jewel. One of the cool things is that this is a Hard Rock 100 qualifier, UTMB qualifier, and Western States qualifier. This race qualifies you for most of the races out there. Gives a lot of points. And the belt buckle is almost as big as a small plate. It's like a rodeo belt buckle. So it'll be kind of cool to get that. Just wanted to tell you a little bit about my training, and take care. Talk to you soon.